Third foundation. Allah's Messenger came to a people who differed in their object of worship. Some worshipped angels, while others worshipped prophets and pious people. But the Prophet did not differentiate between them.
The grave worshippers nowadays, when you recite the verses of Tawheed, they say, how could you treat us like idol worshippers? They say, we are supplicating to pious people, to walis, and you are comparing us to idol worshippers? You are unjust. That's what would they say. Now, the author here is showing that it is not true that the mushriks in that time were only worshipping stones. No. Actually, they were not worshipping stones. They were making some stones as symbols for either angels or pious people. But the Christians were not worshipping idols. They were worshipping Jesus. They were worshipping humans. And the Jews were not worshipping idols. They were denying it. And they were worshipping humans. They were worshipping their scholars or some other people. So we had also people who were worshipping the sun at that time. People who were worshipping angels. Therefore, it is not true that those verses were only directed to stone worshippers. You see, this is one thing. The other thing is that the grave worshippers nowadays are not only worshipping stones, they are worshipping what is much worse than stones. They are worshipping wicked people like Ahmed al-Badawi. Who is Ahmed al-Badawi? Al-Badawi was known to be an ignorant man who used to drink intoxicating drinks. And in the time that he was drunk, he used to go up the roof of the masjid and urinate on the people who were praying. He was not praying in congregation. He was getting drunk most of his time. And yet they were worshipping him after his death. It is better to worship a stone than to worship people like Ahmed al-Badawi. You see? All is shirk. All is greater shirk. But this is better than this, you know. So they have many graves which are not known what's in them. Some of them have dogs in them. Some of them have donkeys in them. Some of them have nothing in them. You see. They worship Al-Rifa'i. Who's Al-Rifa'i? Al-Rifa'i was the one who used to say, all the walis of Allah are under my foot. All the walis of Allah from the time of Adam are under my foot. A stone is much better than this taghut, you see. So, actually, we are not only being just with them, we are being lenient with them because they are worshipping what is much worse than stones, you see. So the verses apply to them. That's why the author brought this proof that any worship for other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala falls under this. Any worship for other than Allah.